Hello everyone, in this video I would like to go over chapter 5 quizzes. So the first one that we learn is converting the following measurement. So the first one is from pound to ounces. So there's two ways to do it. So either way that you use is fine. So the first one is a pound to ounces. So the first thing we need to know is how many pounds equals to how many ounces. So 1 pound equals to 16 ounces. So now we have 8 pounds. So this is from a big unit converted to a smaller unit. So that's why we need to use a multiply. So the first way to do it is use 8 times 16 equals to 128 ounces. That will be your answer. Another way to do it is you can use the cancellation. So that we need to use a little bit fraction skill. So I know that 1 pound equals to 16 ounces. You can either write it in this way or 16 ounces equals to 1 pound. So now we need to determine which one that we want, because we need to use 8 pounds times something so that our output is equals to ounces. So our angle is ounces, so we want to convert a pound to ounces. So in this case, we want to have the ounces on top and then the pound in the bottom. I'm going to show you why is that. So we are going to use the second way. So I have 16 ounces and 1 pound. So in fraction, we know that 8 pounds, we can write it into fraction, will become 8 over 1, right? So now if you have a fraction multiplication, the cross, the diagonal, they can cancel each other out. What happened is pound and pound, they got cancelled out, right? So now what we have is 8 over 1 multiply 16 over 1. So that's equivalent to 8 times 16, which is also equals to 128. So now do you see the trick? The trick is we try to cancel out the units so that we can get to the destined unit that we want. So now we use the same method, or I'm going to show you two methods. How to convert fluid ounces to gallon. Let me erase this first. Now, the first method is we need to know how many fluid ounces and the gallons, how do they convert. So for each one, 1 gallon equals to 128 fluid ounces. So now it's using a small unit converting to the big unit. So that means we need to use division. What I want is 68 divided by 128 equals to, you can have a decimal places or you can write it into a fraction. And simplify it, is equals to 17 over 32 gallon. So now we just learn a different way. This is one way to do it. So from a small unit converted to a bigger unit, we use division. From bigger unit converted to a small unit, we need to use a multiplication. Now, if we use the new way that we learned, we have 1 gallon equals to 128 fluid ounces, or 128 fluid ounces to 1 gallon. Each one works. So now you have 68 fluid ounces, and we need to multiply one of these so that it will equals to some gallon. So our goal is to get rid of the fluid ounces and to keep the gallon. So that means we want the gallon on top. So that's why we will choose this one, the first one. So we have a 1 gallon over 128 fluid ounces. Again, 16 ounces, we convert this into a fraction, so this will become 68 fluid ounces over 1, right? Now, let's take a look. Fluid ounces and fluid ounces cross cancel. Now we have 1 and 1, they cross cancel, right? Now what we have is gallon, right? That's our goal, to get gallon. And now we also have 68 over 128. As you can see, these two methods, they end up to be the same. Okay, next one is 2.5 quart to pin. Same way to do it, I'm going to use both methods, so you can familiar with either one. So the first thing is we need to find how do they convert. 1 quart equals to how many pin? So 1 quart equals to 2 pin, right? So pin is a smaller unit and quart is a bigger unit. From a bigger unit converting to a smaller unit, to do that is we use multiplication, right? So I have a 2.5 quart times the conversion, which is times 2, which is equal to 4.9. Another way to do it is we write it as 2.45 quart multiply. We want the quart to be under and the pin on the top. So 1 pin equals to 2 quarts, so that our output will become the pin. The quart will cancel out. So, oh sorry, it's a 1 quart equals to 2 pin. I wrote that wrong. So this should be 2 pin over 1 quart, so that they can multiply equals to 2.9 pin. So both way works. So here's the answer. Okay, second one, John has a rectangle backyard which is 2200 inches long and 42 yards wide, and he wants to build a fence around his backyard. So this is a geometric problem. When it comes to geometric problem, the first thing you want to do is draw the graph. So this is a rectangle. We are drawing a rectangle, and then label the measurements, which is 2200 inches for the length, and then 42 yard for the width. As you can see, I put that on purposely. The inches and the yard is a different units. So now question 1 is how many feet will you need? So I'm giving you, I gave you inches and yard and ask how many feet do you need. So your first step is converting the feet to yard. Converted the feet to inches. But converted the inches to feet. Sorry, I keep making that tiny mistake. Okay, so we know that 1 foot equals to 12 inches. Now you're given 2,200 inches, and I want to convert that to feet. So the feet is on the top, the bottom would be the inches, so that we can cancel the inches. Now, then we have a whole number multiply a fraction. So this is equal to 2,200 over 12 feet. That would be a first step, and you can simplify it or not. And we can keep it that way because we haven't done all the calculation yet, because the end point is to see the parameter. Now, the second is we need to convert a yard to feet. 1 yard equals to 3 feet. Now we use a different method. So we are converting a big unit to a small unit. That means we need to use a multiplication. I have 42 yard. Now multiply 3 feet. So I have 126 feet. Again, in every of these question, I'm going to show you both way. Okay, now next is they both have the fit unit. Next is see how many feet will they need to build a fence. So that means we're trying to find the parameter. Now the new one is equals to this, and then the width is 126 feet. So our parameter is equals to 2,200 over 12 at 126 times 2. That would be the feet. So the parameter is the length at the width times 2. So this is equals to, simplify it is 2,200 over 6 plus 252. You can leave it that way, or you can find the decimal and see how long it is. So that's question A. That would be the answer. B is, if the cost of the fence material is $13.8 per inches, how much does it cost to cover this backyard? So the first thing is, look, they give you the unit price is dollar per inches. So that means we need to convert everything into the inches. Now feet doesn't work. I'm going to erase this. So one good thing about this is the length is given in inches. So that means we don't need to do anything. We can just keep the 2,200. Now, the next thing is the width. The width from the previous question, which is question A, we know that is equal to 126 feet. Now, the next step is we need to convert that feet to inches. 1 foot equals to 12 inches. So that means 126 feet is going to equals to, from a big unit converting to a smaller unit, we use multiplication. So we have 126 times 12 equals to 1,512 feet. So that means this in feet is equals to 1,512 inches, not feet, inches. Now we know all the measurement in inches. So the next thing is still we need to find how much does it cost to build the whole fences. We using the formula length plus width times 2. So I got 2,200 at 1,512 feet times 2. So that gives you the parameter, which is 7,424 inches. So write a unit. Now the next thing is we need to know the cost. We know that each inches costs $13.8. So that means we have 7,424 inches times 13.8 equals to 28,000. No, actually it's $282,112. Wow, that's very expensive. Fences. So that would be part B. Your answer should be this guy. Okay, last is another company is selling a similar fences for 3.5 per foot, and which one is the better deal? Now, let's try this one. So how do you compare which one is better? Since they have different units. One is giving you the price per inches. The other one is giving you the price per foot. So here is the way to do it. You can either convert the $13.8 per inches into something, how much it is per feet, and see which one is cheaper, or the other way, which is converting the $3.5 per foot to some money per inches. So I'm going to just convert one of them. So I'm going to do this one. I want to convert this to inches. So right now the unit is 3.5 US dollar per foot, right? And I want this to be the feet cancel so that we got the inches in the bottom. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So that's our conversion. So now let's cancel the stuff out. Feet, they got canceled. So what unit left is US dollar over inches. Now 12 is in the denominator, so that means we have 3.5 over 12. So this is approximately to 29 cents. So that means for the second material, it's going to cost you 29 cents per inches. So that means the second one is much cheaper, so you should choose the second one if they're similar. Okay, so now this is the matrix system. That means each one, the conversion unit would be times 10. So for example, if it's for gram to kilogram, we have 110, 210, 310. So total it will be 1,000. So that's how they convert it. Now let's take a look. So the dosage available, meaning that each pill or each tablet contains this amount, the chemical. So how many tablets do they need if the prescription is 1 gram? So your first thing is you want to convert them into the same unit. That will make it easier for you to calculate how many tablets do you need. First one, 500 milligram equals how many gram? Now look at this. From gram to milligram. So gram is here, milligram is here. So they are 3 parts. So totally is 1,000. So the converting unit is 1,000. So that means 500 milligram is going to equals to 0.5 gram. So if each pill contains 0.5 gram, how many pills do we need? Well, we will use 1 gram divided by 0.5, which gives you 2. So that means we need 2 tablets. Now, second one, milligram to micromilligram. Okay, so from milligram to micromilligram, the difference is 10 times, right? So that means when I converted milligram, you convert bigger unit to a smaller unit, you need to multiply. So that means I multiply 10, I got 2.5 micromilligram. So if the total dosage I need is 125 micromilligram, and each tablet contains 2.5 milligram. So that means the total amount that I need is going to be 125 divided by 2.5. This is equal to 50. Next is from milligram to milligram. This is great. We don't need to do any conversion. So the dosage they prescribe is 12.5, but each tablet contains 5 milligram. So that means I use 2.5 divided by 5. So I totally need 2.5 tablet. So that's it for this one. Your first step is to convert them into the same units, and then see how many do you need by divided. Each use the total prescribed dosage to divide it by the dosage available for each pill or each tablet. Now, the average body temperature of a house cat is 101.5 Fahrenheit, and what's the temperature in Celsius? So this is substitution. What you need to do is substitute the Fahrenheit into F, so you can find out the Celsius. So it's equals to 5/9, 101.5 minus 13.2. So this one is equals to 5/9 times, we need to follow the order of pandas. We need to calculate everything inside the parentheses first. 69.5, and then we need to multiply 5/9. So this is equal to 13.8.61 Celsius. That's it. Okay, that's it for chapter 5. I have 2 students email me the quizzes, saying that they don't have enough time to submit the quizzes. So yes, all the quizzes are timed. For the academic fairness, this time I will take it because I assume that you are unfamiliar with how to submit the quizzes under the time pressure. So next week, I want you to be careful and watch out about the time. If you submit the quizzes to me through email, I would just give it a 0. I will not take it. All the quizzes must submit it on Canvas. Okay, let me know if you have more questions about the quizzes or how to submit the quizzes. I'll see you next week.